Today, how I'm going to do this paper matcha. Hello. Let's see. Can I even see it? Okay, let's go, guys. I hope you can see me doing this live now. So, hello everyone. How are you guys doing? I am going to go on live and then we'll show you how I do this paper matcha, which is a DIY clay where you could use this kind of recycle this kind of egg carton to make clay. So it's really easy to do. I have soaked this carton in water, just warm water for I think a few days, because I didn't have time to use it. So I thought maybe it will be better if I can soak it a little longer. So after 3 days, this is how it looks like. So let me just show you how a closer look, alright? So you can see. I hope you can see here. Can you see? Okay. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I can still read your question if you have any. All right. So now this paper matcha, this is how it looks like after 3 days in the water. And what I do is that I tear this into small pieces. And then I soak them in just warm water and let them cover the whole with the water fully. And then just now I use a food processor or a mixer to just mix them so it will be more fine like that. So it's still wet and literally you need to just have this consistency. So I haven't done this before, so it will be very interesting to see how this turns out. I'm doing this live streaming because I noticed many of you enjoy my clay video, and I thought maybe, I thought about those people who cannot afford to buy clay. So maybe this is something that you can do. If you don't use eggs, or you can go to the shop, sometimes you can beg for some. But most people have this kind of carton. I also noticed there are different grades of carton. Some of the carton is slightly thicker. This one is quite okay. I noticed some are really thick. So, and also the fiber is more hard. So if you have a high fiber that is slightly softer, it will be better. So this one is a slightly harder version, yeah. So maybe you might need to soak for a longer period. So overall, you don't need to soak them for too long, just overnight will do. So the recipe called for just adding glue. So this is just the normal glue that I bought. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this clay and see how it turns out. And then you see here I have a mushroom, right? So I'm going to try and use this on this mushroom and see what happened. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of clay, a little bit of glue, and then let's mix this. You probably need more glue. Okay. And then you say you might need some water. If you ask me what kind of glue, I think this glue is normal white glue. They call it the school glue, where they use it in the school. This glue is to bind the fiber, to bind this paper together so that it will not fall apart. And I've seen a few recipes on the internet. Some of them they use corn flour. I have just a little bit, so it's not enough. So I'm going to try and use plain flour. And I think I heard you can use plain flour too. So just a bit of plain flour to smoothen it. Hello. I am Esty. My name is Esty. I am a Singaporean living in Sweden. I am a forager, and also I like to create recipes for mushroom. So if you're looking for a mushroom recipe, you can check out my channel. Oh, last time I used to focus all over the place, you know, but there's so many cooking channels out there and they are so much better than me. But I've never come across any channel that focus just on mushroom. So I thought maybe I'll be the first one to start and see how this go, if it is popular or not. After squeezing this for a while, I still find that it is not that smooth. Let me just see. If you have done this before, you know, let me know, okay, if I've done this wrongly. Because it feels to me that this consistent is not very easy to get. So maybe I need to have a little bit of water. I have over here some warm water. And then I'm going to add a little bit more of flour. Don't know. I don't know whether is it supposed to be. Oh, okay. Now it feels like it is more on a workable consistency. And so many of you are watching. I'd like to know which country you are watching from. It will be good because I know how I should speak, because I notice I have a lot of American viewers, and my English is not very American or very British. It's very Singlish. So sometimes I might pronounce some words very strangely. So if you find that my English is hard to understand, don't be shy, okay? To just give me a I'm going to give myself a Lashguna is in the live streaming. Okay, I think this is a better consistency now. So this dough can be used. It's still not as smooth. Huh? I would love it to be very, very smooth. This kind of dough will definitely dry up. I'm just going to add a little bit more. I'm just curious to see how this would turn out. And then a little bit more glue. Let's see if it sticks. You know, the thing with this kind of clay is that this is a paper clay, so it will dry up very easily. So if you want to keep them moist, you have to put them in an airtight container or use a Ziploc to keep it moist. So I have some, I will show you later on, okay? I have some clay that polymer clay that is drying out. So I put some water yesterday so it should be softer. Oh, I think this consistent is better. But let me just see. Okay, it is not as smooth as I want this to be. Okay. You can zoom in also. You just put your finger on top of your phone and then you just zoom in like that so you can see the consistency. So I think this consistent is not very smooth. Unfortunately, to me it's not smooth enough. I would prefer this to be really, really smooth. Do you think I should add more powder? What do you guys think? Let me know. So if you think I should add more powder or glue, type in the comment. Now I'm going to show you the other one, alright? While I wait for your comment. So, let's see. This is the one. Yeah, okay. Over here, I remove this. Yesterday I have this kind of a blue clay that I bought. Do I have any packet that I can show you? Yeah, okay. Usually this kind of packet of clay, I like to put them in, this is called polymer clay, air dry clay. So I usually like to ziplock them, making sure there's no air inside so that it will not dry out. But sometimes it does. If you haven't been using the clay for like a while, so you might have very hard clay. So what I did is that I have another piece that was really, really hard. So I cut them into very, very small pieces with a chopper. So now, let's see. It is getting soft, more and more soft. So what I did is, I chopped the smaller clay, then I put them into this bag, some water, and then I just squeeze out all the air, and then I just put them beside here, my table. And you see, today, it's so soft now. So this works, yeah. So I still prefer this kind of clay. This is a real clay consistency where you can really mold into, you know, other possibility, many different kind of craft you can use. So I think this is really good. Okay, let's continue. I think I'm going to try and see if I could put it on. I still feel like, you know, maybe I have to wait for the clay to like soften up. What do you think? I think one more tablespoon. Yeah, I only afraid that if the more powder you put, flour you put, then it will become more and more dry. So I might not be able to use it. So my initial intention is just to show you how, you know, you can use, and I want to try on this. So let's see. Okay, I'm going to have a seat. Let's see. I'm going to wear gloves on the other end. Okay, it's quite difficult to form the, can you see? It's, I'm trying to make them into a ball. And then when I try to press it, it cracks. So obviously, this is not ready. You see, it just breaks so easily. Okay, let's do this into a 2 chunks of big ball, and then tomorrow I'm going to see how this turns out. Okay, so I'm going to just pick them like that. So 1 ball. Maybe it's supposed to be, you know, let them sit. This is very good muscle. Like you're making a giant, we call in Swedish a palt. Body cake. We call that. That is a dish. It looks something like that, but slightly lesser gray than this. So what they have in the outer layer is a potato. They mousse it, and then they add some flour, and then it becomes like a dough. So inside the dough, they will have like minced bacon, some salty bacon, and also, if I'm not wrong, some people they like to put some fat also. So what you do is that you boil this body cake, they call that. In Swedish it's called korvskål. You have to boil them in hot water and until it floats. It will take some time because the ball are very big, so the bigger the ball, the more heavier it is, it will sink to the bottom. So in order for it to float up, it's really taking a long time. So I think I did help one of my ex-colleagues to make this korvskål, and it was an old lady who taught me how to do that. It's a lot of work. So during the olden time, the Swedish people, they have no money, right? So they have to travel very far to work in a farm. So this is what their wife will do for them if they are going away for several days, or if they are going away to the church, which is normally very far away. So they make all these and then they pack them into, you know, like small paper bag. And then, you know, Sweden is very cold, right? So they go to work, and then when they are at their work, olden time they don't have microwave. So what they do is that they either reboil this again in a pot of hot water until it's warm inside, and then they will, when it is warm, they will cut them into half, and then they will serve it with a lot of butter and a lingonberry. So the lingonberry, I'm sure you can see them in IKEA. They have that there. So this is how they eat them. Do I like them? I prefer to cut them into smaller pieces and fry them on a frying pan. So I think that way it is more tastier. You know, it reminds me of the what do you call, the carrot cake in Singapore. So I'm going to just keep this. All right, I'm gonna keep you guys posted how this thing turns out. But I don't think so. At the moment I could form this, but I'm going to show you how I do this mushroom. Let me just close this first before it dries up. So it's very difficult to work with the glove. So, and then the one thing about this kind of glue is it tends to, you know, collect quite a lot on the top part here. So you have to remove them once in a while, then you can close them. Okay, back to this clay. Let me just show you simply how I do this. This is also one of my very cheap Christmas decoration. We have a tree outside. So basically what I did was just using the aluminum foil. This is the aluminum foil. So I think I did demonstrate before how I form my mushroom, but I can quickly show you how now, since maybe some of you guys are new to my channel and missed that video. So you only need a piece of paper like that, 2 pieces in fact, for one mushroom, about 50 centimeters. So like this. So if you want to make like the leg, right? The leg is like quite like a tube. So I always like do it like that first, and then I'll just form it. I'll just form it like that. Sometimes using the table is good also. I have a mat somewhere. Where's the mat? The table is very smooth, so I'm going to use a mat. So just roll it like that, and then you want to just use the tabletop to just press this. So now you have a really quick, easy tube. So for the head, I do the same. I do like this, but except I do it in a round form. Alright, and this sometimes not very round, so you just make sure it is round. And when they are a round ball like this, so what I do is I will just keep shaping it. So I use my finger and I just press this in. So later what I do is I will just use a glue gun to glue this, and then I will put the lid back. But before I do that, because I'm going to hang this on the tree, so all this is going to be hang on my tree outside. I'm not going to put clay in it because I want to use the silver effect to create the Christmassy atmosphere. So this is going to shine in the night. So what I do is that before I even glue my leg, I make a hole here using a needle, like this type of giant needle. So what I do is that I poke 2 holes, one here and another one here. Then I use those silver like a string to poke through. Sometimes my eyes is like so bad, you know, so I need time to just poke through. So I'm sure you know what I mean. So when you come to areas, so you just twist it to, you know, like to close the part, so it will not be open, so it will stay in place. One thing good about using the wire is because you can tighten it, you can make the hole bigger, you can make the hole smaller, and then also it is more flexible. If your twigs is like standing this way, so you can just like twist them so it is more secure. So using a wire is definitely better. So this is what I am planning to do, and all this I haven't hang up yet. I plan to make a few more because I have a small Christmas tree outside, so I thought this would be really nice. I'm going to take a picture and show you how it looks like. Okay, so let's jump on to this. I found, if you wonder what is this is actually my pop cake, you know, this stands where, you know, when you buy the pop cake machines, they give you this kind of stick, and this is really good because you can put them on top, and then you can paint your mushroom. In my previous video, I forgotten all about this, so I just use normal toothpick, but normal toothpick is very small. You cannot put this on the stand. So having this is really a luxury where I can just work without, you know, getting my hand full of paint. So how I do this is that I take a piece of clay. This clay is very wet. Okay, maybe I'll use this one better. Let me see if I can try to use this one. It's really wet. So make sure you don't put too much water also. Huh? So maybe I'll have to add a little bit more because I find that on the bottom here is still dry because the water I just poured from the top, it didn't go down yet. So maybe I'll let them sit like that so the water will go down, will drip down. So over the weekend, I bought 4 packets of this. It is around $4 each for half a kilo. I find that this kind of clay is very, very useful because I could mold, do sculpture on this, and it's very easy. And some of you guys asked me, let me see, okay. Some of you asked me whether, you know, if I'm going to use, like for making jewelry, like earrings, what kind of clay I should use. So I purposely went to this art and craft shop, and then I found this clay called Fimo clay, and they're having a special offer. It is offered because it is slightly hard. So I probably have to wet this too and see if it's working. The difference between this kind of clay and this kind of poly air dry clay is this is not waterproof, and this is, I heard, is waterproof, but you still have to lack it. So I have a certain lac that I bought. I think it is somewhere here. So if you are interested, you know, do follow me. I'm going to try and make some earrings and maybe some necklace for Christmas. So you can maybe give this as a gift instead of buying it. So for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they charge me for price of 4, which is good because, but I still find it's really expensive because I think I paid like 35 crown each. 35, 70, 140 crown altogether for this, which is very costly. So that is why I know some people, some of you guys are financially not well off, so maybe you might need tips like this one. So hopefully that works. So do follow me on that, follow up with that project, and I really hope it works. So for this kind of air dry clay, sometimes they do get dry too. So if they get dry, I will go and pick the other part that is like slightly not so dry. And if you notice, they are like a bit papery type. I don't know whether you can see. And they are quite heavy. I think they are not very lasting. So if you are making a structure like this, you definitely have to lack it, because if you don't lack it, it will crack and then it will be gone like a few months. Because I did had a few projects that I did before, there was a lot of crack, so it was very, very annoying. So for a clay like that, my I just realized that my my initial plan of this video is to show you how I make the matcha. So now I am making this, so I just cannot stop, you know, when I see something that I'm not doing completed. So over my live streaming, I just hope that, you know, you guys don't feel like, oh, you are in for the wrong purpose. So now let's put this on top. So usually I just see that, you know, this is like a little bit, let me just move this. So what you can do is that you put some water. I'm going to do that. I'm going to add some water. Let's see if I have a cup here. Yeah, I have a cup now. So I'm going to just pour water in my jar, and then I put water on top here so that it will stick onto the aluminum foil. Of course, if you like, you can also put glue, but water works quite well. Okay, now I'm going to put this on top, and then I'm just going to like molding the caps. I am planning to use this one as a Christmas decoration, so I will be painting this later on in Greek. So if you have missed my previous live streaming about how I paint, you can go up to the channel and see. I'm going to try and put the link in the video description or at the end screen so you can go right onto it. Alright, otherwise you can go to my playlist and check out my other video. I think this is okay, right? So the next thing is the stems. For the stems, it's require a little bit more. So if you make quite a big statue like that, if you're going to use a whole clay, so for half a kilo, you know, it definitely will not be enough. So usually I like to have aluminum foil inside, so I will save money on the clay. Let me just quickly squeeze it. You need to massage the clay a little bit because sometimes you can get crack, which is and usually when the clay that I have used like leftover, I don't like to mix them together with the one that I recently just take out from the new batch, because usually they are slightly drier. So when you add them together, the consistent is not consistent, yeah. So it's better not to do that. So this clay is very easy to work with. I enjoy working with this clay a lot. Sometimes you have to like double it. Okay, and then I have a knife here. I have this structure knife. It's very, very useful. I can use it to cut. So I can use this in as my base. So approximately, oh, this is too short. Okay, then you have to lengthen it a bit. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it's better to you know, lengthen it a bit more, because if you don't, then you can see the silver part, right? So, and then you notice I'm not thick enough, then I have to do the other way around. So I still need a little bit of height here, so I'm going to roll this out a little bit more so that I could, you know, cover them properly. Okay, I think now should be better. So turn the mushroom upside down, and then here, oh, it's still lacking about half a centimeter. is not that difficult because this clay is so flexible. So now it works. Okay, I'm gonna try put it in the front so you can see how. You're like putting clothes on to them. Oh, I forgotten to wear the water, so I'm going to use the water again to paint this so it sticks better. Don't worry about the underneath here because later you can do like a ring and put it on top. Okay, now just going to dress this up. So I don't know whether you can see, this is really good too, where you can just use it to press this against the aluminum foil so that it stick to the foil. And because it has this zigzag thing, so you're pushing it down and then it gives this, I don't know whether you can see it from this. Can you guys see it? Okay, so it's very good that it has this teeth. So like the opening, right, what to do, so I always use a little bit of water and then I just brush it on top and then I use my finger and just, you know, try to even up the uneven surface. Okay, so for the top part I'm just going to fold this in, but I've forgotten to put water again. Remember, so now you just push it in. It's really, really good. So, see? Good job, right? So this part, if you want, you know, for me, I wouldn't be bothered because this is going to be like standing up. Nobody is like watching. Ah, Esty forgotten to paint that. All right, so I think I can leave it alone. Or if I want to make it a perfect job, so what you do is you just roll them very, very thinly. Make them into like a spaghetti. Okay, and then just roll it around. Use this one and just cut them. Okay, then use this one. I think there is another one that is even better. This one is even better. It's like a ball. So what you do is you just press it in. So it will be more. Stay. Okay. I think I would like to just make sure that it is in position. Like certain part the gray still, the silver foil show, then I use this one to just hide the clay so the silver foil will not show up. Okay, this is obviously too thick, so there are smaller one like these small balls, so you can use that one also to just tap, lightly tap it on. So this kind of sculpting tools is cheap and it's quite lasting. I've been using this a few years now. It's still working. Of course, there are more expensive one you can buy. So if you're interested in this kind of tool, you can go check it out at my Amazon store, which is in my bio. All right. So here you go. So usually I will wait for 1 day or 2 for it to dry completely. So like some parts where you can see, oh, maybe you want to just shape it, right? So what I like to do is I use a knife to just create some interesting texture. Let's see if I have any knife here. I need to have quite a sharp knife. Oh, I have an idea. I have a knife here, which I have. It's actually my cooking knife. Huh? But I find this knife is so good. It is so sharp, and I use it for my craft now. So, and you know, this kind of tools really reminds me when I was a kid. When I was a child, I always dreamed about being a dentist. And the reason why I enjoy doing clay, I think it's also because of my dream of being a dentist. So my dream came true, but it's not with a real patient. When I was a child, I used to, you know, go underneath the table and drill a hole. My brother has a drill, like a school drill, so I drill a hole. Then I put toothpaste and stuff the table underneath. So, you know, our dining table, there are millions of holes. So every time when my mother is not around, I will use a drill and pretend that I'm a dentist. My dream didn't really fall through because, you know, getting a university education in Singapore is like very, very, very expensive. So that is why I decided to stay here in Sweden so that my daughter get free education, university education here. So that's it. I think this is good. So if you want to create like a skirt, you know, so what I do is that you can just use this one and just like cut them, then just, then it become like a skirt. But because you see I have cut them like that, but because this clay is too thin, yeah, so I have to make sure I don't cut too deep to leave them. So if you want to make a skirt, make sure you have a thicker clay, okay, so you can cut through easily. Yeah, look like a skirt, isn't it? Natural skirt. I asked LG, what is that? He always tell me, oh, that's the skirt of a mushroom. So you can use a knife to just cut them in between so it looks more realistic, because they are like that in real. They are split up. just make sure you smoothen the surface here, okay, so that it will not look so strange or the silver part might seem. So this is how my mushroom look like. So I'm going to paint this red. I'm going to make it, we call that in Swedish the röd fluga. It's a poisonous mushroom. So with the white dots. And then this probably will be sitting in my dining table, and I'm going to decorate around this. So now I can put them here. So when they are dry, I can paint them like this. Yeah. So don't forget the clay. So this clay is a bit dry, right? So I'm going to put them in here. So the one that you use already, usually they are, after a while, you need to just make sure every time when you take out the clay, quickly cover it. Now I've forgotten to cover it, so it's going to start dry up again. That's why it's called the air dry clay. So make sure you keep them tight. And that for this one, I'm going to just break them into pieces, and then I'm going to put them into this bag. And notice the top is very wet, so this is going to be sitting on my plate. And then some people like to put them in the fridge. You can do that if you have space, but I don't like to do that because here in our camp, in my room temperature is around 19 degrees, so it's not that hot, and it's quite perfect temperature. So if you have like a crack on top, yeah, the one thing I learned is that this is what I learned when I do pastry. Just use a stick to hit it, so it will eventually be smoothened again. So just make sure close it tight. Make sure you don't have air. So this is ready to be set aside until the next time I'm going to use it. So I hope you enjoy this. Like for this kind of tool, this is made of plastic, so I usually like to just put them in some water and just soak them for overnight, and the next day just take it out and just dry them. So I hope you enjoy this live streaming. If you do enjoy this, give a thumbs up, and don't forget, if you have any question, I'm here to help. Let me know in the comment, and I'll see you in my next. Bye.